Twitch?
Oh.
Alright, I think we should do it. And roll with it. I like it.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, alright. Then, Brian, you can stop sharing your screen on the general channel so you're not using too much bandwidth.
Yeah.
All right.
And then just take that link and just post it into the announcement section here in 1 second.
We just gotta remember these settings for next time.
So we're posting the Twitch link.
Yeah, Twitch link underneath my post right there in the announcement section.
I think we should, whoever's talking, maybe if you want to like share your screen, and then, you know, if you're talking about like HEX, what is HEX? You can go over to the website like this. You know.
We're hearing that cell phone pretty bad. I would suggest putting that in your ass or
Is that my phone?
someone's vibrating. I'll give you the shiv daily. Do we need a cool like intro, like a hey, welcome back everybody, and welcome.
Maybe not yet.
They do. Need something catchy.
This is Team Cash, where every wad is hefty. Thicker than a McDonald's milkshake.
All right, so I'm recording. So we got everything recording. We'll post the link to the recording later. And then as we go through, you know, everybody can share. If you want to share your screen, talk about something, I'll just link over to you. We'll watch it. Watch your screen as you talk.
I like it.
And I'll keep the background like this.
Round table style.
Yeah, probably won't share my screen, but
There we go. Got some people joining. Got some bread.
Should I put my camera on?
can y'all see me?
Yeah.
Everything.
Nice. Just wanted to bless you guys with this beautiful face.
We got the chat pulled up and oh, who do we got? Dottie Must. What up, yo? Thanks for joining in the chat. Fellas, be sure to say hello to everyone in the chat.
What's up? What's up?
I'm trying to find the chat.
Alright, so. Crypto looking juicy today.
Where the hell's the chat? I lost it.
So do we have a little list of topics of things we want to talk about today? Kyle, you got anything off the top of the dome that you wanted to talk about? Kind of get us started.
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to jump into Hex and Pulse Chain. Obviously, I know we've been blowing it up as much as we can in the Discord, and we've gotten quite a few questions and a lot of people taking interest into it. So, I know Brandon, you guys will probably hop in here as well because I know you guys originally got me into it. But really just wanted to go over, what HEX is, where we see it going, the benefits of it, kind of a little bit of the background on Richard Hart, the creator of HEX, and then from there dive into Pulse Chain and PulseX, which are two new things coming up. Pulse Chain, the launch coming up here in the next hopefully 4 to 6 weeks, and the Pulse X sacrifice, hopefully in the next few days. But really, just starting off with Hex, wanted to chat about what it is. Most people just look at it as the first ever blockchain CD in a sense, where your investors are rewarded for staking, how much they stake and for how long. So I know when it originally launched, we were looking at average APYs of like 40%. I know that they're still pretty high if you're staking up to the 15-year duration that it allows, the what is called the 555 club, for the 15 years, 5 days. So as far as that goes, we've been in it for myself over about 2 years now. We're coming up on 2 years. I know Brian probably diving a little bit more. You've been in it a couple months before me, and just kind of talk about Richard Hart and kind of how you got into it and where it's taking you up to this point.
Yeah, man. I got into Hex day one when it launched 2019, I think.
Yeah, 2019, end of 2019, I believe.
Yes, I'm on the website now.
Why did HEX like jump out to you from like every other cryptocurrency? Because in my mind it kind of looked like every other cryptocurrency, but now it's got this market cap that's easily top 10.
Well, Hex was, it was, I was in one of my buddies who does a lot with crypto, and he kind of told me about it, and we were pretty skeptical at first. I mean, it was really a sketchy project at first. You don't really know when projects first come out, especially in crypto. You don't really know much. And this is here. I'm going to show you the Hex website. So like at first, let's see here. This was what it kind of looked like. Where is I'm looking for the staking. Okay, so this was kind of like when I first got into Hex, it was just like there were lobbies, and it showed you how much Ethereum people were putting in on each day. So this is day one of the launch of Hex, and I just saw that the first day there was like 21,000 Ethereum. That's this number here in each lobby, and there's 21,000 Ethereum that were sacrificed, or basically you're selling your Ethereum for Hex at the time. We call it sacrifice phase, but I saw that 21,000 Ethereum. This is a lot of Ethereum. This is a lot of money that people are putting into it. So there's interest, and the guy, the Richard Hart, he's known by a lot of people. He's not just some random guy. He's been in crypto since crypto was a thing, since Bitcoin was a thing. Right? So it's one of those things where you do your due diligence. It's a guy who's, he's a seasoned veteran when it comes to crypto, and he's trying to create a crypto that basically makes you money. I mean, at the end of the day, it's there to earn you interest, to make you money. It's the first crypto that I've ever seen that was created to make you money without any, they're not saying, oh, we have a new update like Cardano has, the new this, new that. It's just was crypto created to make you money, and that's it. Completely finished, and there was no promise of anything in the future. It was just here. This is, you earn interest over time, and that's it.
Was this the first way to earn interest through cryptocurrency? Because I really hadn't heard much about it until I think you talked about it.
this is the first initial way to make money with interest, as in like this is the only reason for HEX is to make you interest.
High yield state.
High yield, or you call it high yield when you stake it. You get high yield, and every other crypto that in the industry, you could look at them and they'll give you interest money. You know, you could stake it and you'll get interest, but the goal of that crypto is usually to help the blockchain in an XYZ way, which is cool and all, but you know what's their actual purpose? You know, what are they actually doing? Are they here to make you interest, to make you money, or are they there to help the blockchain in XYZ way? And all of those cryptos are great, but you know, I see a lot of repeating cryptocurrencies. Stake it, you earn interest, then you mine it, and it is there to make the blockchain quicker, or you know, everybody has a different crypto for a different reason. And Hex was the first one that was like, hey guys, this is here to make you money. That's it. There's no other code, nothing. There's no updates on it. That's it. It's a done, finished project, and from day one, it's been the same exact thing. It's been there to increase in price and earn you interest over time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think to elaborate a little bit more on staking, because a lot of people have had some questions about that, Brian, and really just the benefits from it, like we spoke about. I mean, these are some high interest rates and some high yield that you can really earn. And I know for me, you know, back when you got me started a couple years ago on it, you know, basically the selling point you had was, look, you know, it's basically, look at it as like a penny stock or a penny crypto. At the time, you know, it was very cheap, and your selling point was, look, you know, you can stake it and earn these high interest rates on it, and it doesn't even have to go up in price really, and you're still making money. It's just free tokens that you're getting out of this, and that was honestly the biggest selling point for me. I don't know if you remember that conversation or not, but
yeah, it's like the way they created it is you'll earn more interest over time. So if the price, at very least, in a full year, if the price were to stay stagnant, don't go up or down, at least you'll earn the interest, and there's your profit, at the very least. So you know, the price obviously went up, and you know, the more interest you're staking, you're actually making money on interest and on price.
Is Pulse Chain a reaction to the gas prices, or was it always
Yes.
planned?
I'm not sure if it was always planned, but it was more of a reaction in my opinion. But that's obviously impossible to tell unless you know Richard Hart personally. But I believe, yeah, it was a reaction, and it's been in the works for quite a while.
But in my opinion, kind of going on a more advanced level with the Ethereum 2.0, the chain swaps, the Shibariums, the Pulse chains, it seems like they're creating these relatively fast. I mean, obviously Pulse and HEX is at the forefront of it, and I think they'll be released before all of those. But it seems like within the last year and a half, all of them are like, all right, we need to get. I think of the blockchain as like an expensive toll road to be on, the Ethereum blockchain, and they're building more eco-friendly ones that are on top of it, you know, like Pulse chain.
Right. That's exactly what's happening everywhere. Even with Binance, you know, Binance has their own smart chain. But I think Pulse, why it's so much better is because he's not really trying to create a completely new system. He's forking the previous systems and just making it faster.
Right.
And more user-friendly.
Efficient. Yep.
And that's the whole point of the airdrop. And you're getting your airdrop, you're getting every single crypto on the Ethereum network to increase liquidity and benefit liquidity providers. Although it's not as beneficial for liquidity providers and for stakers. I know at first everybody wants to make as much money as possible, but the goal of the Pulse chain is to make things quicker and more accessible for people trying to swap coins, you know? So when you stake on the Pulse chain network, there's no inflation. You know, the staking rewards go all to stakers, and 25% of the transactions are burned on the Pulse chain. So
It should in turn make the price go up.
Right. Right. And the only thing is it's going to make staking on the Pulse chain network not as profitable. You're not going to make as much from staking. But the point is to make things quicker for everybody. So that comes at a cost, and the cost is at the money you make, pretty much.
We have a question in the chat. What is Dadimus? Is there a walkthrough on buying HEX on mobile?
Yeah, I've got some videos. I can put them back into the chat. We were hoping to get a complete kind of or compile of videos prior to posting them all in there, just so they all made sense. But I do have some how-to tutorial videos. I know that the mobile version can be a little bit or look a little different than doing it online.
I could show you a little bit here if you want in the background.
Yeah, maybe if we can just simply explain the process real quick. It's pretty easy process to explain.
But just mobile.
Yeah, well, I would probably recommend not doing it on mobile. You can.
If you do, you go to your MetaMask, and you do the same exact thing as if you were to do it online. So you'd have to download MetaMask on your phone, so it would look something like this. And let me try to get this larger for you guys. There we go. So you have MetaMask on your phone. It's going to look something like this. You're going to have your account, blah, 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 blah. And easiest way to do it on your phone is to use MetaMask directly and just swap. So if you have MetaMask on your phone, you have your crypto on your phone, say you have whatever amount of Ethereum, and then you just swap it. So you swap Ethereum to HEX. That's the easiest way to do it on your phone. You're going to probably pay a little bit more in gas fees, and that's because you have to, if you want to pay less in gas fees, which is not going to be very much, go over to Uniswap, which on your phone, that gets a little complicated on your phone to have Uniswap up. I'd be a little bit careful on your phone as well, because if you use a wrong Uniswap, you can be sending your money to who knows where. So on your phone, the easiest way to do it is just go right to MetaMask and just hit swap, and you could swap it directly on your MetaMask. So everything should be on your MetaMask. All your money should be on your MetaMask. And if you wanted to do it this way, you could just hit swap, type in the amount of Ethereum you want to swap, and then that's exactly what comes up. And then you just hit swap. And obviously right now it's not letting me hit swap because I don't have enough money for counting a lot of gas fees.
So I have a bot that tells us some of the best times to purchase and swap Ethereum. Based off of the last 2 weeks, it's literally been 2:30 and 5:30 a.m. And it's always looking at the amount of energy that it takes and the amount of Ethereum that it takes to swap. So those are the best times.
Yeah, so basically to answer that question, you're going to want to first initially purchase a coin of some sort, if that's going to be, Ethereum, USD, whatever the case may be. Then you're going to want to transfer it out of Coinbase or whatever it is into your MetaMask.
Right.
From MetaMask, you can then swap it into HEX. And you can do all of that via your phone, and I'm sure that we'll have a video, posted at some point.
I would buy Ethereum, Dotmus. I would buy Ethereum directly on MetaMask, honestly, because there's a swapping fee if you buy it on Coinbase and send it to Meta. So you end up having to pay a little extra anyway. So I would just buy it directly through Meta is what I would do, unless you already own it.
And if you use this right here, you can use a debit card and buy Ethereum right on your MetaMask account.
Yeah, I'm trying to save you a little money on that swapping fee.
Yeah, if you use these two companies, Wire and Transact, you can link your debit card and bank account. But most people like to use Coinbase. It's something they've already established. So, if you have Coinbase, you just send, just like you're doing it on any other exchange, you just send your Ethereum and then you type in your MetaMask address right here. So this is your address, and on Coinbase you'll hit send and you'll send it to your MetaMask address. Yeah.
So, and there's also a buying limit if you're on MetaMask trying to buy Ethereum weekly. I think you have to send in some serious applications if you want to buy over $1,000 a week.
Yeah, just same with Coinbase. These companies, this Transact and Wire, they're going to be the same concept as Coinbase, where you're going to end up paying, giving them a fee, whatever it is, and each company is different, so it depends on these types of companies. But same thing as Coinbase, both of these, except these are connected to MetaMask directly.
I've got 2 questions. Do you guys ever sell your HEX, or do you just let it grow in there?
Just depends. I think everybody's, the way at least I trade, I've got a long-term bag and a swing trade bag. So long-term stuff, pretty heavy in HEX. Don't have any plans to sell it. Not to get too off topic, I'll be sacrificing some of it with the upcoming Pulse X sacrifice starting in hopefully a few days. But as far as the long-term bag, I have no plans to sell it anytime soon. And then with the swing trade bag, obviously we're just looking for those 20, 30, 40%ers gains. So yeah, I'll play around a little bit with that. But as far as HEX goes, I'm in it for the long haul.
I think that question kind of is like a general question in terms of what is your intentions? Are you trying to grow your account? Are you trying to make a quick swing trade? Or are you taking advantage of the interest with HEX and staking? So like for me personally, I will be purchasing HEX for the staking aspect to build interest off the account. Obviously there's the volatility of the price going up and down, but my position with HEX is going to be a long haul, earning interest and hoping that the price continues to go up. So it's kind of a case by case question. It just depends on what's your position at. If you see HEX, dip and you think it's a good potential for a swing trade, sure. But if you're looking to actively trade, there's different ways that you can go about doing that versus just doing HEX. There's tons of other coins that you can swing trade and day trade on different platforms that you're not having to get all these different fees and whatnot.
Yeah. Right, and with the staking too, just so everybody knows, when you're setting it for that certain duration, if it's a year, 5 years, whatever it is, you cannot pull it out. Or I guess you could call it in the stake. You can, but you'll be penalized heavily.
Like two-thirds.
Yeah, it's bad. So
and that penalty goes to stakers.
You're putting away and staking, for whatever duration it is. Just make sure that it's money that you will not need, because the last thing you want to have to do is need an emergency fund and having to pull that out because you will not get your return on it.
Yeah, I really do think it matters if you're comfortable trading and swing trading it, day trading it, that type of thing. If you can understand the patterns and ride the wave and make the money. I definitely have been on both sides of the boat. I like to swing trade them and day trade them just because of the 24-hour aspect of it. Crypto never closes. But I think since March, I've stopped selling most of my crypto. I just kind of went the Elon Musk and Mark Cuban way of they're not selling any of their Bitcoin, they're not selling any of their Dogecoin. And the more I learn about Ethereum, the more I'm buying and not selling. I might be swapping, but I'm not selling. That's just me personally.
Yeah, and to answer the next question too about the conversion, I believe if you convert more, if you're swapping more, gas fees will go up. I'm not sure about the calculation of how much it goes up. So we could look at it right now and try to do it. If we were to swap, say like 1 Ethereum onto HEX.
I think it's based on energy. I think it's really based on
how hot the network is, how many people are trying to swap it.
Yeah.
Right, but the question is if you swap more. So say 1 Ethereum is going to cost say $200 right now. If we were to swap 2 Ethereum,
edit.
it's going to 224. So it went up a little bit. So the more money you're converting is going to end up more gas fees. I don't think it's as much though. So as you can see, you know, a whole $4,000 more, and you're paying $20 more. So I think it goes up, but I'm not sure how they, you know, the gas fees. There's a calculation you could do for it, but that's getting a little bit into something we don't really need to discuss. It's really it goes up, but how much is hard to say. Not much, obviously. It's already less.
Yeah.
All about the way.
And I think one thing, and just on the topic of fees and whatnot, is just be smart at the end of the day in terms of, you know, what you're doing. You know, we can give you as much resources, but if you're looking to get into, you know, swap some Ethereum into HEX and whatnot, and if you're, you know, if the amount that you're actually trying to swap into HEX is not offset by the fees, I mean, just be smart. Don't try and transfer $500 into HEX and then the fees are $250. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. You know, be smart. Wait until the gas fees are cheaper, and then get into it. Don't try and take advantage unless you see potential and you're willing to dump enough money to offset those fees. That's very key. I've seen a lot of people that try and just jump in and don't take into consideration the gas fees, and
Right.
it just doesn't make sense.
That's a great point. If you have a small amount, it's not smart to go ahead and stake your small amount because you're going to be paying a lot in gas fees. Same with buying HEX as well.
The gas fees I was talking about are measured in GWEI, GWEI, I believe. Is that what it's called?
Right, and that's just
cheaper.
Yeah, it's like Satoshi. So Bitcoin, or measured in Satoshi, GWEI is the smaller measurement of Ethereum.
And like I said, it's like 2:30 a.m., 5:30 a.m. I have an alert set for when there's a low amount of GWEI being used or gas fees, and so it gives me a notification that I could probably spend $25-$30 to swap my HEX for Shiba or whatever.
Is that a bot that we could get set up in the Discord for everybody? E?
Yeah, the problem with it is we only can get 10 notifications a month. If we want to get more, we got to buy it. It's not terribly that much, but it's like $5-10. But it's definitely some value to it, especially for swaps and stuff like that.
All right,
Or
so
blockchain is the answer.
if you guys want to move over to the Discord, the chat that we have on, kind of like go in order now. We could do like what is HEX, kind of explain what is HEX. If people want to learn how to stake it, I could share my screen, or you can see my screen now. And we kind of go over to, so like if you have HEX already and you're looking to stake HEX, which, you know, you have to buy HEX. We talked about it earlier. You have to get your Ethereum over to MetaMask, and then from MetaMask, swap your Ethereum for HEX, or you can use Uniswap. But I don't have any HEX on here now because it's currently staking. But once you are ready to stake it, once HEX is in your MetaMask, you'll go over to go.hex.com/stake. And this is the website it'll kind of bring you to. This will be the main page, and you'll link your MetaMask by just logging in. And now your MetaMask is linked, and you just go over to stake. And this will pop up here, and then you click however much you want to stake, and then however many days, and then that's how you stake it, and you click stake. Right now I have, you know, 750,000 staking for a month. And then this is what it looked like. This is your active stakes. This will show your stake history. So your current stake, when you have your current stake, this is what it shows. This is your progress, and you want to get it to 100%. Staking is the way HEX earns you interest. So you basically take all of your coins. When you stake it, you lock it up. Staking is a good way to a synonym, I guess, you know, locking it up, staking it.
Brian, if you don't mind me just jumping in real quick about the staking thing. Think of staking exactly what Kyle said, is as a CD. When you go to a bank and you were to invest your money into a CD, you lock your money up for a short period of time, whatever the specified period is, and then you earn interest off of that. The only difference between staking with HEX is that the price of the coin can fluctuate going up or down. And so you're earning interest off the stake itself, but you're also, the possibility of the coin value going up as well. So in theory, you're hopefully making money on two sides versus just the one. Like you would invest in a stock hoping the stock goes up. Think of this as in you're just earning interest off the stake itself as well.
Right. And with HEX, T shares is basically how many shares you get per your stake. So when I staked my HEX, or basically I take all my HEX that I had 750,000 right now in this one, and I stake it for however long. That earns you T shares, and those T shares tell you exactly how much. So right now this is how much a T share is worth. So as the price goes up, so will the T share. But they use T shares as a, because when you stake in it, to go a little bit more in depth, you're actually burning your principal. So it burns that amount, and then you have a contract, which is here. So I had 750,000 I staked. I basically hit stake, and that burns your coins, and then you have a contract where you're going to receive 39.20 T shares at the end of the stake, which equates to, however much interest, T shares times the price of the T share. So it's a little complicated, but to make it very simple, the more you stake and the longer you stake, the more interest you'll earn, or the higher the T shares you'll get. And there's a calculation that they have. They have a system calculation of how much people will earn staking. So you earn, the more people that stake, the less interest you earn. But the game theory makes price go up. So as more people stake it for longer periods of time, the price will essentially go up as the interest rate goes down. And then it's capped at 3.69 if 100% of HEX was staked. Then everybody will earn 3.96% interest per year. And that's assuming that the price will end up leveling on whatever the price is, assuming 100% of the HEX is staked. I know that can get a little bit confusing, but
He said,
Yeah.
so at the end of the stake, you get more money. I mean, in theory, yeah, assuming that the cryptocurrency goes up and,
Right.
signs show that we're doing pretty damn good.
yeah,
Right.
at the end of the stakes, you get more HEX. So if you see my screen here, I started this stake the December 1st with 757,000, and it currently is at 763,000. So I've earned 6,000 HEX, and 6,000 HEX at 30 cents is however much US dollars.
Right, and also to answer that question as well, the staking, the interest that you're earning is not based on the actual end of your term. You receive your HEX on a per day basis per the interest rate. So in theory, you're going to be accumulating your HEX per day per the interest, and on top of that, you just don't want to pull it out so you don't get those, you don't get penalized. So you're earning interest every day on your HEX that's being staked. So if you stake it for a year, every single day at a 365, you're earning interest on it.
And the yield can be different per day, correct? Like some days
Right.
you can have way more, some days you can have less.
Yeah, and there's a chart right here. If you guys could see it, this is the staking per day. So you can see that this big bump where the interest went up, that's usually when somebody ends their stake, or there's a big calculation, but something where somebody ended their stake early, or a lot of circulation of the crypto was taken out of staking, and the less people that stake, the higher interest you'll get. So the point is if less people stake, the price will go down, but you'll earn more interest.
Right, and I think from like a investment and financial standpoint with HEX, what makes this so appealing is there's other avenues and ways that you can do something like this, like with money. It's not completely brand new in terms of earning interest off of your money, right? You could do CDs, there's treasury bonds, there's all sorts of things that you can earn interest on, but it's set. right? So like you have a set interest rate, it doesn't fluctuate, and two, the price that you have it at. So like you invest $1,000, and that $1,000 is the only interest for the rate that you're getting. With this, if you invest $1,000, you're getting a fluctuated interest rate, and on top of that, you're hoping that the coin value goes up as well. So you're hoping that you're earning money on two sides versus just the interest side. If that makes sense.
Right. Can y'all specify a little bit for Don about ending your stake? He says, do you have to manually end your stake? Or,
Yes.
When it comes time to the end date, or how does that work?
Yes, you have to manually start your stake and manually end your stake. And when your stake is over, you should know what day it ends. Mine ends December 31st. But on that day, the stake will turn black. It'll say end stake and it'll be black. And you have a grace period, I think a couple days.
14 days, I think.
Yeah, you have a grace period before you start getting penalized. So you don't have to end it immediately, but I highly suggest ending it when it turns black.
Now, do you have to end the stake, or does it re-loop the stake in?
You have to end the stake, and when the stake is complete, there's actually an option where it says good accounting and end stake. Good accounting, this is something that you guys should know about. Good accounting ends your stake, mines your coins or mints your coins, but it doesn't take out of your account. So like it basically makes your stake, you ended the stake, but it stays in here, but you won't get penalized. That makes sense. So it mints the coins for you. Your contract is now finished, but your stake can stay here for however long if you hit good accounting.
Good accounting will let you restake it again?
Good accounting will let you keep your stake here, but it won't penalize you for. Yeah, it'll end your stake. Your contract will be over, and you can leave that contract in there. You can leave it here for however long you want.
And choose a whole new stake.
Yeah, and then you could choose a whole new stake if you're doing that. If you wanted to put it into your MetaMask, you can end the stake and put it into MetaMask.
What about gas fees? Does that mean you got to do another gas fee to
Yes.
start with the stake?
Yeah.
When you end the stake, you got to do the gas fee to get out of the stake, and then you got to do another gas fee to get back in the stake.
You got to do a gas fee to get at the stake, to get out of the stake, and then to restake. And that's why, that's particularly why he's creating Pulse Chain, because the staking fees are just out of control.
Okay.
And it was getting to the point where people with a lower amount of crypto, staking would almost be impossible until you get a day where the gas fees are super low. That, or you stake for a whole year and just leave it. So people like me, I have 750,000 HEX right now in this account. So like staking for me is going to cost me $100 or so, and I could keep staking because the interest I'm earning is quite a bit. So for good accounting, I wouldn't necessarily do it, but just to know what it is, it ends your stake and mines, it mints your coins, but it keeps it in the HEX website.
Okay. And last question on here is, Dodimus says, should you always be staking your HEX?
Essentially, yeah. If you're a long-term holder and you want to stake your HEX, you're earning interest over time. So if HEX were to stay at the same exact price it was today into next year, you could see, like, say I had 10,000 HEX and I wanted to stake it for until next year. Exactly today, next year. So December 20.
Hypotheticals on there, right?
Huh?
They can show you hypotheticals on
Yeah. So hypothetically, if I had 10,000 HEX and I wanted to stake it for a full year, you're essentially going to get 2,000 HEX. So you're making 20%, and that's average. So you're making 20%, right? So 2,000 HEX is 20% of your full bag. So you're earning 20% of your bag in a year. And that is, so we assume price doesn't change at all, then you'll make 2,000 extra coins. You'll have a 20% increase in your bag over a year. Assuming price doesn't move at all, Right, and then say you have 100,000 hex, you know, you're gonna get more. So you get this bigger pays better. So if you had 100,000 hex, you'll get, you know, an extra 6,000. So you'll get a little bit more.
Can you show what it would look like if somebody staked for 2 years, 5 years, just to show those interests?
Yeah. So say you had 100,000, you want to stake for 2 years, and these are averages. So things change. If people end their stakes early, all that interest is paid to the active stakers. So like this chart here, you know, you each day, if you have your stakes each day, you can see a big bump like we saw here, and that's when somebody ends their stake early, or you know, a lot of the people end their stakes, and whatever the calculation, you get more interest, get less interest, depends on the day. But if we're to do 2 years, that's what 2 years is going to look like on average. You'll get, if you staked 100,000 for 2 years, you're looking at 70 shares, 140,000 total, so 40%. So not much of a change over 2 years. The interest doesn't, you can't really see the change in interest. So here it just keeps the same interest. So you're gonna essentially be getting the same amount because it can't really tell you the change in the APY.
Right. I just wanted to show, we have a target price on HEX to hit $1 here, hopefully shortly, and I just want people to realize, you're talking about 100,000 coins at $1, so $100,000, and just for staking it. So basically, just saying, hey, I'm going to set this money aside, or these tokens aside, 2 years, and you're talking about 40,000 tokens. So in turn, potentially $40,000 if HEX is at $1. So at $2, you're talking about $80,000. I mean, we're not talking about a couple dollars here and there. It's some serious money that you can make just from doing what Richard Hart wants everybody to do.
Right, and 20% or 40% on your initial bag, it may not seem a lot, but that's a lot, because if price goes up by, price goes up 100% and you make 40% on your initial bag, it compounds. So say the price doubles and you had 100,000 shares, and then you're getting 20,000 a year. That price, that 20,000 extra coins doubles if the price doubles. So it compounds a lot quicker than it looks. Even at $1 a share.
Yeah, I think that's a great point in terms of the compounding interest aspect as well.
Right, and it doesn't matter about what the price is when you initially stake it. It doesn't care about the price. All it cares is, depending on who's staking, how many stakers compared to the coin supply, and it'll just earn you HEX over time.
Yeah, and back to kind of the original question from Donovan. I know he was asking, should you stake all of your HEX? It's really up to you. We can probably dive into Pulse Chain and PulseX here shortly, but with the PulseX sacrifice phase, I'd probably say maybe hold off on staking all of your HEX. And we can kind of dive into that just because there is some stuff coming up over the next week or two where you're going to want some liquid HEX if you want to join in on the PulseX sacrifice. So
have it on your MetaMask is what you're saying?
Correct. Yeah, just leave it in your MetaMask for the time being. But like I said, it's really up to the individual person. I know for myself, I'll be sacrificing some of my liquid HEX to get into the PulseX, basically from the ground up. So I did the same thing with Pulse Chain. It's just another avenue, slight diversification, I would say, even though they all pretty much tie together one way or another. But it's just another way to really get in from the ground up and have another shot at 100x, 1000x, whatever it could be. We're talking about HEX that did 10,000x in under 2 years. So I don't think anything's really out of the question for these other two things that are coming out as well.
I would almost like a walkthrough maybe not today, but for sacrificing?
Yeah, I know. I participated in it. I'm pretty sure Brian and Brandon did as well. For the pulse chain sacrifice, that was back in like late August, early September. We're still waiting on, I guess, some more details for the pulse X sacrifice, but it should look pretty similar to the pulse chain sacrifice. I know pulse chain was about a month long. I don't think the pulse X will be that long. I'm guessing maybe just a week or two. You'll be able to sacrifice a list of ERC20 tokens, so HEX, Shiba, Ethereum, USDC. There's a handful of others. So if you have those, you'll be able to sacrifice during that time as well. And
Hypothetically, if I had $3,000 of sheep and I sacrificed it all, where does the benefit come back to me?
so one, you can sacrifice any of these ERC20 tokens. Majority of the sacrifice tokens will most likely be HEX. Great for people holding HEX because it should drive the price up. One. So if you are holding additional HEX or, in your case, additional Shiba and people are sacrificing Shiba, should hopefully burn those tokens and drive the price up. Now you're going to get, we believe, 10,000 tokens, Pulse X tokens, to every dollar sacrificed. So, right. So you're basically sacrificing these tokens, and then at a later date, when Pulse X is launched, getting the Pulse X tokens in return.
It's like pre-funding kind of.
Right. I like to think of it as almost like an IPO in a sense. As far as getting in. At least as far as getting in at the early stages. So.
And you're saying that for the sacrificing, for every hex that you sacrifice, you're getting 2 of the pulse, correct?
No, that'll be this. Sorry, I see what you're saying. So for every hex you're sacrificing, you're getting 2 pulse. Is that what you're asking?
It's gonna be US dollars, wise.
Or it's every dollar of hex that you sacrifice.
Every dollar of any dollar of anything. So any US dollar value should come out to around 10,000 Pulse X tokens. Obviously, I think that's subject to change as we get a little bit more information over the next couple days.
Yeah, it'll go by US dollar amount. So how much ever US dollar amount you sacrifice is gonna equate to how much Pulse X you'll receive.
Gotcha. Because with hex being under $1, I wanted to kind of clarify that if it's actually on the amount of like 1 hex or if it's a dollar amount.
Dollar. It goes by dollar amount.
Dollar.
Alright, well, we're rounding just over about an hour right now. Do we have anything final that we got to get off our chest? Anything, predictions for maybe the next couple weeks coming up?
I think Hex and Pulse Chain, Pulse Swap, or Pulse X, right now is a great time to get into any one. To be in every single one as well, I'd be in everything. I would have a little bit of Hex, a little bit of Pulse Chain. If you haven't got that, then sacrifice, whatever you want to sacrifice. We say sacrifice. Sacrifice is the same thing as just swapping. Like you're sacrificing it, you're selling it for Pulse Chain, Pulse Swap, Pulse X.
Can we buy Pulse?
It's not out yet, so.
We'll show you how to do it when it's out, but it's going to be something similar to, like, if you see my screen on Hex staking. When Hex was first, the sacrifice phase for Hex, there was a website and it said transform. It was a transformation stage. And you basically just transformed your Ethereum or you sent in your Ethereum for Hex. So, I put in, Ethereum and I received Hex for it. I put in one Ethereum, got 52,000 Hex. I put another Ethereum, got in 1.5 million Hex. It's going to be the same concept. You'll put in your Ethereum or you'll put in your Hex or you'll put in your whatever token and then you'll receive a base amount of Pulse Chain or Pulse X, whatever the money amounts to. We don't know the exact supply yet, so you can't really equate how much you're going to receive, but it goes based off the dollar amount you put in. So just remember how much money you put in dollar-wise, and you'll receive Pulse Swap or Pulse X. And then once it launches, there'll be a price discovery, and price will start to move, and then you'll see how much you have compared to the price, and it'll go from there.
Alright. And
Yeah,
wanna
I
say
think just-
real quick that we're not financial advisors. This is all opinions. So do your own due diligence.
Yeah, I think just some takeaway points from that is, you know, this is a great time to buy HEX. You know, from our point of view, you have the snapshot date coming up as well for Pulse Chain. Essentially, it'll just be a free copy of PHEX tokens that you'll get just from holding HEX in your MetaMask. So that's another thing coming up. You know, with the PulseX sacrifice, I would imagine some price. We could see a bump in price with HEX as well. Also, if you're looking to get into the PulseX sacrifice, go ahead and get into HEX. That way you have something to sacrifice come that time, which should be, you know, Richard Hart's told us in his live streams, it'll start before the end of the year. At least that's his hope. So even if it isn't, I would imagine the first week of January at the latest. So it'll be, you know, obviously coming up here very shortly, and I know we'll all be playing a part. So as those details kind of unfold, we'll probably do another live stream just to make sure everybody has the opportunity and to get into that if they choose, and help you guys out. So
Yeah, and it all starts with having all of your money in your MetaMask. So however much,
Right.
wherever it is right now, if it's on Coinbase, if you're on an exchange, you know, I would highly suggest just moving all your funds over to MetaMask, just so that when they do the snapshot, or if you want to sacrifice, like I have this BAT coin, I get it from using this Brave browser, and I have, you know, $160. So I'll probably end up sacrificing this coin for PulseX. But it's obviously up to discretion, however much money you have, wherever you want to do it. Keep it in your MetaMask. At least you'll get the snapshot, and you'll be able to sacrifice if you want to.
I think there might be a chunk of viewers that are like the super beginners that are like, I've got $4,000 of Ethereum and Robinhood. Is that going to do anything for me?
No.
nope.
You're gonna.
Not for Pulse Chain and PulseX at least. You know, you have to be holding any ERC20 token in your MetaMask
Yes.
in order to participate in Snapshot.
I highly suggest if you're in Robinhood, if you're on Coinbase, if you're on any type of exchange, Cash App, doesn't matter. Take your Bitcoin or take your Ethereum. If you have Bitcoin, you want to transfer that Bitcoin to Ethereum, and you want to move it over to MetaMask. It's very simple. On each exchange, doesn't matter what exchange, there's going to be something where it says send. Just like MetaMask says it here, Coinbase and Robinhood will have a send feature, and then you just send it, and then you type in your address. You copy your address. So everybody's going to have a different address on MetaMask, and you send it from. It doesn't matter what exchange, you'll be able to send it.
Except for Robinhood as of right now, and Webull doesn't. I don't think you can send anything from Webull, right? You have to cash off, right?
I didn't know that.
I'm not familiar with those.
I don't think you can send.
I don't think they have wallets, so you have to, in theory, for you to be able to do that, you have to have a wallet. I know Robinhood is in the process of creating one, but at the moment, I don't think that they do have that capability.
They've been slow as molasses trying to get that wallet out. I've been in the 100,000th in line for I don't know how long. Yeah.
So if you're on an exchange that doesn't have a wallet, then you're gonna have to cash that out, and my suggestion is to go over to Coinbase, and to send it all into Coinbase. But yeah, if you're in any of those, Webull or Robinhood, you're gonna have to cash that out, and move over to Coinbase, and then use Coinbase to be able to send different coins places.
Right. So like at the end of the day, it all depends on what your strategy is as an individual, right? Like we all have different strategies of investing. And so, for example, if you want to take advantage of day trading, swing trading a coin with low to if no fees, you know, then obviously take advantage of these platforms where you can, you know, trade the coins such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, you know, SHIB, all that good stuff on the platforms. Sure, that could be your trade strategy. If you want to take advantage of HEX, then you definitely need to get comfortable. If you're a beginner, you need to get comfortable and have all the software and everything you need on your phone, computer, and so get comfortable with how to transfer, how to send, how to purchase, all this good stuff that so that you can take advantage of, the HEX and the pulse chain and whatnot. But if your trading strategy is specifically buying and selling, you don't want to worry about staking and whatnot. Obviously, they have those platforms where you can buy, hold, and sell at your own leisure. HEX is a little bit different, but like we said, if you want to take advantage of all these new things that are coming out with the pulse chain and whatnot, you definitely want to have liquid, hard, HEX coins or Ethereum coins in your MetaMask account.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to gather everything in my MetaMask, and as well as get ready for Shibarium, which is it's exactly what Pulse Chain is, but it's for Shib. But I'll find out more details about that and give you more insight to see if there's any sacrifice deals or yields or rewards that we can get through the Shib program. But yeah, I also think it's a good time to hold Shib.
Yeah, and I think we'll definitely be keeping everyone updated as more information comes through. And then also in terms of just a going live standpoint, I think that if any individual has certain kind of topics that they would like covered, if it's different coins, if it's stock related stuff, anything like that. I mean, I think we're all in agreement that we're kind of working towards going live, when we can with different topics and whatnot. So I think once we have more questions and information, if you have something specific that you want covered, we'd be glad to do that as well.
Right.
Yeah, I think it all goes kind of hand in hand.
And we'll get our stream going better. Technical difficulties a little bit, but we'll get it. Yeah.
Well, is there anything else? Kind of wrapping up.
No, this is a good video that we could post to everybody. Obviously, there's going to be people with individual questions, and as time goes on, we'll be able to figure out how to get these streams looking better, so that we could, each topic will have like a certain time. You could skip to a different time period, like 20 minutes in to get a certain topic that we discuss. So over time, we'll get better at this, and yeah.
Yeah, I think those individuals, if you watch the stream, use the main chat, use the crypto chat to just post in questions, and we'll hop in there, periodically and answer any questions that you guys have. And then we'll also be posting, and we'll have that kind of that library of videos for all our, entry level people that are trying to get started and all this good stuff as well.
Yes, sir. Lots to do.
Well, let's make this money.
Is there any other? I think we're all set on the questions. So
Yeah, that's good for now.
All set.
We'll definitely work on the stream, get them shortened up a little bit. Just work on the quality and everything.
Yeah,
Well,
Pleasure. It's a pleasure.
All right, boys. See you in the chat.
All right.
Yeah.
See you guys. Team Cash out.
howdy.